My husband is getting drinks with a female coworker tonight, and I actually feel like I'm gonna go insane. Him and I have been together for 6 years, and we have children together. So we are in the process of looking for a new home together, and he was showing me a house on his phone a couple of nights ago. And while he's showing me, I see a text message come across the top of his phone from a female's name that I did not recognize. So he didn't have his text previews turned on, which I noticed, but I've never gone through his phone or anything, so I really thought it was suspicious. I'm not the kind of girl to go through his phone because he's really never given me a reason to not trust him. So of course I asked him who it was, and he said, "Oh, that's JT, my coworker." Excuse me? This whole time I thought JT was a man. So I immediately put two and two together and realized that this is the JT he's been telling me he's been going to lunch with multiple times a week. So come to find out, JT is short for Jessica, and I will not say her last name, but obviously it starts with a T. So they actually don't work for the same company. So the companies that they work for are partners with each other. So all these thoughts start coming back to me, and I remember him mentioning to me that he was trying to get on JT's good side because it was good for his company and it opened up a bunch of opportunities for him. So I did next what any woman who would be suspicious about this. I looked her up, and tell me why she was stunning. So of course I start thinking about all the worst case scenarios. I ended up doing something I was not proud of, but last night I went through his phone while he was giving our son a bath, and specifically the messages between him and JT. So his company has monthly dinner, company dinners with his company and the partnering company that she works for. I saw a text from him asking her if she got home okay from the last company dinner, which was last week. And also saying how beautiful she looked and how he wished he could have spoken to her more. And then the next messages I see is him asking her if she wanted to get drinks with him one night by themselves. So I keep scrolling a little further, of course, and I see a message that she had sent him and said, "Thank you for the ride home," with a little heart emoji. So of course I think, okay, he has driven her home from one of these company dinners.
Yeah, this is going bad. This is going bad. And to be honest with you, it might have started off innocent. It might have started off with him genuinely wanting to get in good so that he can ensure that his company is still doing business with their company. And we all know that the best way for you to do business with somebody is if they like you, not necessarily if you're pushing the best product, which it helps if you push the best product. But when it goes beyond a certain point, because you can still be professional and still be outside of work hours, but when it starts to go beyond this point, your intuition more than likely is not off. And I know that it's going to be a lot of guys that have the perspective that, no, that don't mean nothing. Come on, man. We not stupid, bro. We not stupid. We not dumb. Nobody is playing games here. And so, unless the one thing that I will say is not hiding it, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't seem like he's hiding it, is a benefit to him because her intuition is probably on, but the problem with her is that because she's doing all of this snooping and all of this other type of stuff, actually asking specifically about it, hey, what's going on, whatever, blah, 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 having a more in-depth conversation probably could have helped her, but it may be far too gone because if the girl is texting back and forth and saying, thank you for sending me home with the heart emoji, driving me home and all of that other type of stuff, is probably, if it ain't there, it's definitely going on track there. The train just ain't fully parked inside of the station, if you know what I'm saying. So, I don't think that her husband is off, but it might have started off innocent. And the problem a lot of times with these male-female relationships, especially if it's coworkers, not a, the way the guy is moving is crazy because first things first, you can't fuck up home. You got to make sure that home is taken care of. Because if home ain't taken care of, then everything else is gonna go bad. If you got kids with a chick and all of that, the last thing you think you need is a chick that's insecure with the way that you're moving. So A, you got to take care of home. B, you never ever go past certain boundaries when it comes to coworkers. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't mess with the help. You start messing with people that you also get money with and all of that stuff, it's gonna make it muddy. and that's when it's going to really, really go south. And then C, this is why we say it's very difficult for men and women that are not friends or like, you know what I'm saying, long-term friends, or even when it comes to family members and stuff like that, unless it's that type of stuff, then it's very difficult a lot of times for people to be in these platonic relationships or just looking at it as business without overstepping boundaries, because somebody is going to be attracted to somebody, and if both bodies are attracted to each other, then it's really probably going to go left from there. So when I'm listening to this, mm, mm, it's off. But she should probably had a conversation, and that could limit a lot of this or stop it in its tracks. But it just doesn't look good, and it doesn't sound good if that's not the type of relationship that they got.
I'm not going to jump to conclusions because he did mention to me that JT was going through a divorce and was having a really hard time with this separation. So he gets done giving our son a bath, and I didn't want him to know that I was snooping through his phone, so I put his phone back, but I did make sure that I turned on the text previews in his settings before I put the phone back. And like I said, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I mean, the only thing that he did keep from me was the fact that JT is in fact a woman, not a man, like he led me on to believe.
Yeah, that was intentional. But it may not necessarily be because he's doing anything. It could be because he know that you're going to get the way that you're getting in this situation.
Brings me to last night. So we're laying in bed, we're watching a movie, and it's like 12:30, okay? And he receives a text from her that says, "Hey, you up?" Like, did she really just send my husband a booty call, or am I fucking delirious? So of course
That wasn't a booty call, but I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. It's fucked up.
I asked him, I said, what the fuck? Like, why is she texting you that at 12:30 at night? And he said, I don't know. Maybe she's drunk. Like, excuse me, sir? That's even fucking worse. I honestly just dropped it and went to sleep. But then at 7 a.m. again, I hear his phone buzzing and I look at it and it's her again. And she asked him if he had any more spicy cubes. First of all, how does she even know what spicy cubes are? Because, like, those are our thing. And he proceeds to tell me that he was just trying to be a friend. He recommended them to her because she's going through the divorce.
He got to cut this off immediately. Immediately. You got to just cut cold turkey immediately. It's getting to this point, yo, just cut it off. Hey, man, I can't put myself in this negative situation. It's going left from here. Listen, I ain't trying to mess up the bag. I ain't trying to mess up the crib. Let's just keep it platonic and let's keep it G. Had a conversation, let it go, and just keep it moving, bro. You gotta be able to cut it off and before you take a L, a huge L.
That she doesn't want, and I guess she wanted to, spice things back up, trying to win him back in the bedroom, being dirtier in the bedroom. I don't even know. Which I mean is true.
Spicy cube is.
It does really bring back the intimacy in a relationship, but still. So as he's getting ready for work, and I'm about to take our son to daycare, I couldn't find my son's shoes, so I go outside, realize they were in the back seat of his car. And I see a box of spicy cubes that are dumped out in the back seat of his car, and I count them, and there are...
What the hell is a spicy cube? Somebody in the chat, let me know what a spicy cube is.
6 laying in, I guess they had dumped out, I don't know. There are 6 laying in the back seat of the car, and there are 2 missing. I actually feel like this is making me go batshit insane because I asked him about it, and of course he blames it on us and said that we had done that. But I 100% do not remember ever doing that in the backseat of his car. We always take my car when we go out somewhere. He said I was just being crazy, blah, 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 blah. Like, I actually feel like I'm going batshit insane. I'm really contemplating if I should even, follow them the next time they go on these company dinners. Like, should I?
Yeah, this is going bad. This is really, really going bad. This is his responsibility to go ahead and cut that shit off because this is going really, really bad. Let me know if y'all, what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tease Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Maybe I should add this as a part of Q show tonight and see what happened. But I always like to link back to the content creator. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think.